if you're watching this, if you've clicked on this, it's because at some point in your life you've wondered how it would feel like to hold your own book, to finish your own book, to have it exhibited, to meet fans and all the fancy stuff that we've all dreamed of. And I am sure when you were daydreaming about it, when you were imagining yourself in that seat on that specific conference and like talking to cool people, people like you, people you admire, you might have also imagined how it would feel like to finish your first manuscript, the perfect novel that would be the biggest and the longest middle finger to all the people who were mean to you and were like, no, you can't do it. Well, yeah, I too have had those. I'm sure everyone has. But there's that magical picture you have in mind, and there are those workaholic authors who actually speak about it and how they approach this mechanically. Like, I remember actually this was told to me, so I cannot quote to you the exact thing, but I think Stephen King was once talking about a fellow author who would write a specific amount of words or in a specific time span every day, and if he finished a novel, it didn't take him through all the word count he wanted to do that day, or I don't know, the time span, he would start the next. And Stephen King, quoting my friend, had said that he wished to reach that level. And I was like, why would anybody want to feel that mechanical? And something else happened about someone who is not as famous, but who is a gorgeous woman and human being, Sacha Black, the host of the Rebel Author podcast. And I remember once she posted this story which said, ask me a question, publishing, writing related, of course. So somebody had asked, what did you do after you finished your book? And I don't remember whether it was about her first book or her recent book. But her answer was, I bought a coffee and I started my next one, something like that. And I was like, of course you did that. Because, after, like, it feels like millions of episodes, listening to her, you kind of feel like you know at least a part of their personality. And I thought myself, I too am a workaholic, but I'm going to be very different. The day I finish the first draft of this damn manuscript I've been working on for a year, it's going to be magical. I'm going to feel like a superhero. If we go to the exact video, thoughts while reading Shadow and Bone plus fighting writer's block and depression, you can see exactly how this finishing the first draft had affected me. Like, you can see it in my face, you can see it in my body language where I hug my comfort bird, something I need right now with me. I did not feel joy in that sense. And it was not because it was not good. That day was the second time in these years, because I don't know, when I was younger, I used to write a lot. I could get a lot done in one day because I didn't give a damn about how professionals would think of this or how it would be perceived. But in years, this was the second time I was hitting over 5,000 words in a single day. I even skipped one of my classes because I've surprisingly found out that I can actually finish this today. So I finished it, and of course it didn't finish in a kind of happily ever after thing. It was the first book in my trilogy. It's a political historical romance, and it's super complicated, and it ended in a cliffhanger. And when I typed first draft finished at this time, at this hour, with this word count for at least an hour, I was like, what should I do now? What should I do now? What should I do now? I should celebrate. So I started watching Bridgerton, and I had fun for 2 days, but when the fun was over, like the clouds were gone, and I could see that I was looking at the chasm within myself. I felt empty, empty. And I was supposed to be feeling joyful. I was supposed to be psyched. And it took me, I don't know, about a week, 5 days or something, when I finally was fed up and told my friend, can I talk to you now? And she is a very precious friend of mine who shares the same dream. And she listened to me talk, and it's amazing when you talk, when you finally open up, you yourself begin to understand why you're feeling a certain way. Mine was, I was experiencing something that was in contrast to what I had expected to feel. And I wanted to be something else that I wasn't in reality, in what was the reality I was exploring, a new sort of realm, let's say. And I decided the right path for me would have been to start writing the second book right away. That would have made me feel better. Now, fast forward, in exact 6 weeks later, I have now finished the first draft of my second novel in this trilogy. And this time, I wasn't that shocked about the kind of reaction that I am showing after finishing this, but I am still in a kind of haze, like, I don't know what I want to do. I had planned that this would take me like 2 weeks to reach this point. But then last night my friend was like, let's do a writing sprint together at 9 o'clock. And at 8:30, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start this. I'm going to honor the word by writing my story. And I wrote that until I think 12 o'clock, something like that. When she said that at night, in one way I was like, maybe I cannot make this, but I had already missed one session. I didn't want to break my promise. So I said, okay. And last night, honestly, I didn't feel like writing at all. Honestly, I didn't. I stared at the page and I wrote the paragraph and I was like, ugh. But then, as I forced myself to write a bit more to reach my word count of the day, I realized that I could actually end this. And I did. I really hope you cannot see this because I'm literally dying with sweat. I hope the only reason is because it's getting so damn hot. And it's not even the third month of spring. I hate heat. I like the cold back, please. So, second experience in finishing a first draft. And it's kind of the same. Difference is I'm not as shocked as I was the first time at my own reaction at finishing this kind of torturous process. I kind of still feel like emptied. I did start writing my third novel. But I don't know, maybe it's because I'm hungry and my body is telling me, yo, dude, you're starving. But I kind of feel like all I want to do right now is stare at the wall. I don't want to watch movies or read books. I'm not sure even if I want to talk to people. But of course, I have mild levels of depression and anxiety. Of course, when I say mild, I'm quoting my therapist. I have so many moments between the sessions I go to him that this anxiety and depression just flares up. Yeah. There is no kind of morality here. It's just me saying something that I did not expect an author would experience. Maybe you will go through the same thing. Maybe you will have a better time and will find comfort that your messy situation is not as messy as you thought it would be. Because look at me. Literally. If you don't like before you leave this video, I and Shahrzad will hope that your writing process will suck. Worse than mine did. No, seriously. I wouldn't wish that for my enemies. But this was my first experience talking about my writing journey. Yeah, this is probably where I should stop. Have a nice writing journey. Bye. I wanted to add something. I don't mean that what I'm experiencing is bad. It's just very unexpected, and I feel like I've given something out of myself and it's currently empty inside. It's the way some people describe their books, saying it's yours until you give it life on the page and then it belongs to everybody else. Maybe that's similar to what I am going through. All I want to say is that I know I blabbered about how empty I'm feeling. I am also paradoxically fulfilled. And I'm sure if you're an artist of any sort, you will get me. Happy writing! The good news is I did not spend the rest of my day sulking and staring at the wall. I didn't have internet connection for hours, so when it returned, I was on my phone for a while, and then it hit me. Maybe I should message my fellow book firm neighbor and see what she's up to. And we talked about Bridgerton, which I had made her watch, and she didn't like, and about everything misogynist going on in the world, everything crazy, and it just feels good to have someone close by. I just had the best time. We also watched an episode from With Cindy channel, and she had not read the book, but she completely got the message Cindy was trying to get out. I mean, she is the queen. I remember I had watched this clip some months ago on a day I was feeling super depressed, and it just changed my mood completely. So, if you don't know who she is, what the hell are you doing with your life? Then we watched a Woody Allen movie and a couple more YouTube videos by sarcastic YouTubers like, thank you, you guys are our saviors. Thank you. And then my mom called and she was like, make food. But overall, I'm feeling great. I feel so relieved and like light that, well, before I went to eat the dinner, I was like, I want to write some more and mark the first 1,000 words of my third novel, which I started right away. But now I'm like, I don't want to. I want to reorganize my library. I'm feeling good. And I just know what I would do the next time that I finish a manuscript. I think I kind of like the progress I'm making here. Yeah. But this is seriously at the end of this video. Yeah. Bye-bye. Ironically, before I even got to edit that video, of course, because I was very busy with that video essay, I finished the third book as well. And I'm feeling just the same. Help. Like, I know the steps right now, but still I feel like a corpse.